I notice things and they make me laugh, and then I usually like store them in the back of my head somewhere, and then they end up on the stage.
I think that there was a point in time where rap was pretty much like non-existent in Ohio.
I actually grew up listening to pop music.
It's the coolest thing in the entire universe.
I love Ohio. I miss it.
Stomach started growling, and he started slowing the way he was walking and taking smaller strides, and you could tell something was definitely not right.
All my stuff has literary elements to it.
We've gotten to such a phase where it's people can just say they're an artist.
You know, wading through a sea of drunks, trying to do the best he can for the band.
Being in a room full of all your best friends, even if you don't know anybody, because you can sing and dance together and just have a really good time.
If you don't know, you don't need to know, man.
Would you like to do a podcast?
Lake Erie or the Cuyahoga River.
You're always going to make it into something, don't you? Can't just hang out.
People complain that there's nothing to do here, but there is. You just have to go look for it.
Hi, is anybody there? Hello?
It's cold in this neck of Ohio tonight, and the style is right for a sad winter song. I feel lost like a speck in a pile out of sight, and though I try with all might, I just don't feel that strong. As we walk through a field trekking on snowy dirt, my eyes start to hurt trying to see you smile. And we talk about fears making our story short. You are scared to get shot, your bravery goes for miles. And there's more miles to go as we walk the train tracks. I think we lost the rain back in the woods we just hiked. And the store signs can glow as you walk sidewalk cracks. I think we lost the town back trading street lamps for kites. The nursery and all of the trees crossed over the dark, and some old parking lots hold my whimpering thoughts, and I'm on the next train. You and me, can't you see what this means? In the light of a torch, realize nothing is forced, nothing is forced.
Hi, my name is Chelsee Teleha, and I am the owner of Chelsee Photography in East Palestine, Ohio. I moved to East Palestine in 1999, and I have absolutely adored this town ever since. I love Ohio. I love living in the area that I do. Chelsee Photography we specialize in modern and stylized senior portraits. So incorporating fashion and makeup, modern poses, quirky locations, and most importantly, incorporating the personalities and styles and hobbies and interests of each senior. You know, my key is non-traditional. I want to give something that's different and unique, that's out of the box, you know, for a typical senior portrait. I think the best part about living in this part of Ohio is that I like that it's not super flat, like in the part of central Ohio, but we're in just the right spot where it's not too mountainous, but it's not too flat. You know, I'm the perfect distance from all the cornfields and sunflower fields, but I'm also the perfect distance from the mountains and forests of Pennsylvania as well. I also really like that Ohio experiences all 4 seasons. So it's, you know, I like that as not only a business owner but as a person, but it's great because as a photographer it gives me lots of different options for lots of different styles and backgrounds. So in the winter I have the option for the snow, and when it's springtime I have the beautiful flowers. When it's summer I have all these beautiful greens, and I can say, hey, let's go do some pictures in the creek, and they won't freeze to death. And then of course there's fall with all the beautiful fall colors. So it gives me lots of different options. And it also provides a challenge too, because in the wintertime in Ohio, it's not necessarily beautiful. I mean, it's not like living in the Pacific Northwest or anything. When, you know, living in Colorado with all the gorgeous mountains and beautiful pine trees, you know, have to deal with the possibility of, hey, there's a snowplow and they shoved, you know, giant piles of snow that's gray and filled with salt and silt and gravel. You know, I have to deal with patches of mud and patches of dead grass whenever the snow decides to melt. So the challenge is, you know, trying to create beauty out of something that looks maybe a little bit, you know, dirty or dead, if you will. So it's always fun trying to adapt to that challenge. I love that Ohio is a part of the Rust Belt. The Rust Belt is just kind of a section of the Midwest United States where back in the day the area thrived on the steel mill industry. And well, with the decline in the industry, all these old factories are, you know, old now and decrepit, and they're kind of deteriorating, and they're all old and rusty, and those just that urban decay has this sort of beauty to it that translates really well into my photos. And I love that sort of grungy urban sort of style. And there's just a lot of really great hidden gems, not only in East Palestine, but all over the area, Youngstown, Pittsburgh, that just have some magnificent old buildings. You know, think all the rust and the exposed brick and the chipped paint. It's beautiful to look at, and it's great for photos. I love living in Ohio because I have the opportunity to meet with other creatives. I'm part of a group, if you will, called Rising Tide Society, and I'm very happy that this month I'll actually be able to meet in one of our monthly meetups. It's called Tuesdays Together, and it's just sort of a casual meetup where we talk about different aspects of business and aspects of being a creative, a local artist, a maker, a photographer, makeup artist, graphic designer, you name it. Any kind of artist or maker can come to these meetings. It's nice to meet other creatives, and we strive the importance of community over competition, where instead of bringing down your competition and bringing down your competitors, you lift each other up and help each other. You know, it is a dog-eat-dog world in the creative industry, and a lot of people will just kind of put everyone down. And it's been really great to meet the creatives and the photographers that I have who are so inspiring and who are so uplifting and want to help others rather than just jump ahead of them and leave them in the dust. I like the sense of community that the small town has. I like the kind of people in this area. People are kind of old-fashioned, and they're just very nice, and they're very sweet. But I was reading a story a few months ago, about a mural in Columbiana. There's a business called Art and Soul on Main, and they had this gorgeous mural painted on the side of their building. And it was like raising controversy, and the city was trying to make laws or make ordinances that would prevent other people from painting murals in the buildings. And this mural wasn't even offensive, but it was just sad to see that someone wanted to, you know, like take down the art. Someone didn't want the art, but it was wonderful and uplifting to see all the people who stood by the business owners who were like, absolutely, we have to keep this mural. We can't take this down. We can't let we can't let the city council make rules that would, you know, prevent us from painting more beautiful murals. it was just really nice to see everyone come together to support that business owner and support her art. Like I said, the improvement of the community of East Palestine has just been incredible. It's been really refreshing to watch everyone come together as a community to improve our city, or our village. The city council is really doing some magnificent things. They're working so hard to better the city, and the police force of the city have just been doing an incredible job, cracking down on the crime and the drugs and making our place a safe place to live. There have been some magnificent business owners, and seeing these new businesses flourish is so refreshing. The business owners are all coming together and stressing the importance of, focusing and supporting small business. It's so important. And they're doing just some magnificent things. They have the business partners of Market in Maine. They do a lot of great events like the cupcake crawl. Not even just the business owners, but the community, the creatives, the teachers. Everyone is just coming together and working so hard to make this village a better place. It's been wonderful to see the improvement, because sometimes people don't have a lot of nice things to say about this town, about East Palestine, but we are getting so much better. And I have loved meeting all the business owners in town. Maybe I haven't met them all, but I've met a good bunch of them, and I've become friends with them. And it's nice to just kind of share and be together in this community. Like I said, everyone is just getting so much better, and the community is just improving vastly. It's been really wonderful to see these creatives and see these business owners flourish and do so well. And I couldn't be more proud to be where I am, to be from East Palestine, to be from Ohio.
Now you are somewhere in some small town, up in the clouds, in some drawing where I drew things that looked like heaven when I was 7. You're on a page, you're on a page, you're on a page, you're on a page. Now you are somewhere in some small town, up in the clouds, in some drawing where I drew things that looked like heaven when I was 7. You're on a page, you're on a page, you're on a page, you're on a page.
I'm walking Jeremy at nighttime, about 11:30 p.m. Just happened upon a sewer. I just forgot. I used to think these things were so magical when I was a kid. I know that sounds kind of dumb, but you could always just walk by them and stand over them and listen to them and wonder where they led. And sometimes you'd even climb down in them under the street for a second. You ever do that in a small town? It's amazing. And now my first instinct when I see them is just to keep walking, but I made myself stop. I can't stop listening. Jeremy, can you hear it? Jeremy, can you hear the sewer too? You looking around all confused like, who's making that noise? Sounds like a million pugs peeing all at once. Oh, we should get back. Let's go. It's snowing out. Pretty cold. February 4th, 2016. I'm 32 years old. Jeremy stopping and looking at a rock and lifting his leg and peeing on it. All right, man, let's go. Come on, let's go. You want to run a little bit? Let's run. Let's run. Okay, that's enough. I'm tired.
Hey there, I love you. Don't you love me too? I need you to love me so I can be with you. Hey there, I need you to be there by my side. And hey there, I need you to be there when I cry. If you can be who I need you to be, then we can be you and me. Hey there, I need you to be there when I cry. And hey there, I need you to be there when I die. If you can be who I need you to be, then we can be you and me.
I tried to make up a water tank when it's filled, but then everybody around me was seeing it. So people living together, and of course their shade and branches and everything. But it was kind of funny. I started decorating with sticks. And one day when I started giving tours, there was a loud knock at the door, and law enforcement officers were at the door. And I had heard that at one time the room that Mr. Beatty lived in, they had to haul a bunch of dirt out of there because someone was growing pot in there. That's what they were using the room for. And so I noticed they went over in that room, and I thought, well, maybe they're here to check out and make sure I'm not a pot grower or something like that. So they were going over, and they just kept laughing. And so we got up here, and they all just looked at me and started laughing. So I said, okay, I like that you're law enforcement officers. Thank you for what you do. But you don't look at a woman and just laugh without telling her why. And one of them said, well, the police garage is over there, and we should have already told you this. And he apologized. He said, over there is the police garage. And so we go back and forth all day long, and we noticed that you're carrying trees inside. And everybody's always asking us what you're doing. He said, to be honest, we get calls about you. People are worried about your mental state. He said, we just wanted to know what you were doing carrying sticks inside. And so it became obvious once they were in this room.
everybody. My name's Animal Powder. Thanks for listening to Nursery, a podcast from Ohio's creative voice. While you're here, if you're going to hang out and just leech off of us, maybe you could kick some money our way. Hey, you don't have to if you don't want to. I'm not trying to guilt trip you. But if you like the music on this podcast, you could go to thirdclass.net. And maybe you could pick up a vinyl record, or you could listen to the music on Spotify or Apple Music. The music of Third Class at thirdclass.net. Maybe you could just hang out, if you like the stuff, you could even buy a t-shirt. Hey, I'm just suggesting things, I'm not even here. I'm not here, okay? And if you like the sense of humor on this podcast, there's a chance you might enjoy Bullskit.com. Bullskit Productions provides inappropriate comedy. So go check them out too, and maybe just hang out. Hit the donate button if you got money out the butt. And if you don't, it's okay. Maybe you could just buy something small off the Third Class site, or just donate $1 to Bullskit. You don't have to go crazy. Let's not try to show off now, alright? You don't have to try to make yourself impressive to me, okay? King Kong ain't got nothing on me. That's from Training Day. Thanks for listening to Nursery.
Hello, everybody. It's Summer Camp Steve from Bullskit Productions. The Nursery podcast is sponsored by the Orange Avocado. Thank you for listening. It's just about the connection. It's about love. It's about stories. It's about sharing. It's about socializing. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
I'm in Warren, Ohio right now. There's a guy just like walking down the street, and he's kind of standing almost in the middle of the crosswalk looking to go. He seems harmless, but he's got both his hands like tightly behind his back as if they're tied. They're not. He's just holding really tight. It makes him look like he's in a straitjacket tied around behind his back. Whoever it is, they look just slightly crazy. And it's just a weird idea to think of somebody just struggling through the world because their brain's a little bit different, and not understanding just like some of the things we think everybody should grasp. He's kind of smiling, but it's like a maniacal smile. Or better, just, I don't know, just so innocent that it looks that way. I don't know. It's interesting. He seems okay. It's not like... I had kind of an urge to stop and say, hey, what's up? Do you need a ride, or is there something that you need help with or something? But he seems to know where he's going. It's weird. Just a few days ago, this is the year 2015, in December, I was in the south side of Youngstown, not the safest place in the world, and somebody came up to me. I was at a gas station, and he was like, hey, my girlfriend got in a fight with me and like left me at the gas station. I lived just like 5, 6, 7 blocks up, 10 blocks up, maybe he said. He's like, can you give me a ride? And I hesitated, and I gave him a ride, and it was fine. He seemed fine. He was young, said he was from Brooklyn. But I can't say I don't have these little defense mechanisms. I've like picked up hitchhikers, I think about like 6 times in my life. And every time has been like a short-term thing. Like, not just that like I was willing to take them only a short ways, but they were really only going, like it was always actually to their destination every time. Pretty much, at least a block from. So not to their doorstep, but it's never been like, oh, I'm coming through Ohio from Maine and I'm headed to California or something like that. It's odd. It says something about the economic situation in Ohio and the United States that people were just looking for a ride to, in my experience, to their girlfriend's house, to their family's house, like to their sons and daughters' houses, or their ex-wife for Thanksgiving. I took somebody, I think on Christmas Day it was. They're all just looking for like the short ride. Once or twice somebody paid me. I was surprised. They were like, here's $20. I took them seriously. I took them like a few blocks. And I tried not to take the money. People are just so weird, and I'm weird. But I'm just, it's puzzling. Number one, how short they were going, and number two, my defense mechanism is puzzling to me, because what I do is this, what I'm doing to you. I talk and talk, ask them about what their life is, make sure they're talking a lot while I'm driving, so that nobody can bring up anything like, A, do you want to buy drugs? B, some sort of prostitution type idea. C, I have a knife, I'm going to take your money. Like, I kind of talk them to disarm them, and I guess either it worked or they were all really harmless. Weird idea. I posted a question on social media. I said, hey, I picked up a hitchhiker in Southside Youngstown. Second time I've done so. I basically ask, am I naive? Am I good at reading people, or should I just stop doing this? And people's responses were helpful and educational. A lot of people said, stop it, just stop it, quit while you're ahead. You just don't know, and they'll make it, especially considering the reason they got to me is because they had a good point considering how short of a distance most of those hitchhikers were going. A lot of them obviously had on the back burner that they would walk if they didn't find somebody like me. And then the other people were like, yeah, keep going. I pick up people picked up me, more musician friends. So it made me think, okay, just be safer. Don't put yourself in the position. What I arrived at was, don't put myself in the position to be giving people a ride as much. But I didn't take it off the table completely.
This is Jessica K from You Breast Believe. That's you, like the letter U, breast, like titties, and believe as in duh, you better believe it. We're a podcast out of Wichita, Kansas, and we hope you give us a listen. But right now, you are listening to Nursery, a podcast from Ohio's Creative Voice.